Welcome back to another review by Mega Train Lover. Today we're having a look at a loco from a manufacturer which I've not actually purchased a new locomotive from before. I do already have a locomotive from Dapol, as you can see, but that one was second hand and it's quite an old one from the 90s. That is my 1400. But this here is a new Dapol model. And as you can see from the box, it is the London South Western Railway B4 class locomotive. Now, if we have a look at the actual box, you can see it's a pretty standard box. It's got the foam padding, it's got the ice cube packaging. If we turn to the side, it focuses. There we go. Come on. Sorry, it's taking a bit. There we go. So as you can see, its product code is 4S-018-008. It's a B4040T in Southern Black Lined Green, and its number is 100. As you can see from there, its minimum radius is second radius curves, but my track has third radius, so that's not an issue. Now the locomotive isn't actually in the box, but if you do open the box, the first thing you'll get is the manual. And if we just look at the manual briefly, and just put the box down, here's the manual. As you can see, it is very, very detailed. So not like the Hornby manuals. Here it's properly color coded. It even shows you what number screws to remove to access the body, and it gives you a list of spare parts. But yeah, I mean, it is all really detailed. Terms and conditions, everything, absolutely everything. Right, now before we get on to the history of the locomotive, I just want to point out that this locomotive is DCC ready. However, it does state in the manual, that's what it is. It does state in the manual that you can only have very specific decoders, which I think its maximum length is 10mm. Now, before I read this, I assumed that all decoders fit. Well, it takes a 6-pin decoder, but I assumed that all 6-pin decoders are compatible with this. So I had a spare 6-pin decoder, and I put it in, and the body did not go on properly. So what I've had to do is I've had to purchase the Trainomatic wired 6-pin decoder. If you check out a video from Jennifer Kirk, just search up her channel. She does really nice reviews. She did a review of one of these Dapol B4s, and she explains the DCC fitting process. I did watch that video beforehand, so I was aware of how tedious it is to remove the body, and believe me, removing the body of this loco is horrific. You have to remove the keeper plate first, which holds the wheels in, and then that gives you access to the 2 screws which hold the body on. It's just, yeah. I don't really want to go into it because it was quite an experience. But my advice is, if you have a DCC layout and you don't want to go through all that trouble, just buy the DCC fitted version. Simple as that. If you have a DC layout, you're absolutely fine. There's no need to do anything. But I'm just warning you, in case you have DCC, you are going to struggle, unless if you obviously know your stuff, which I'm sure most people do. Otherwise, I'm just letting you know that it's harder to DCC this loco than other locos. Right, let's get into the history of the B4. Now, for some reason the manual doesn't have any, and the box doesn't either, unlike other manufacturers. But anyway, so the B4s, they were designed by William Adams for the London South Western Railway, and there were 25 of them built in 3 different batches. There were 10 of them built in 1891, another 10 in 1893, and then a further 5 in 1908. The last 5, they were ordered under Drummond, who originally he classed them as a new engine, but Robert Urey, who succeeded Drummond, found that the batch of 5 from 1908 was so similar to the original 1890s batch that he just basically put it together with the B4s. They were built as shunters, as you can probably tell from their 040 wheel arrangement. Obviously, the vast majority of 040s were shunting engines, and specifically these were built as dock shunters at Southampton, which is where they worked right up until the 1940s, when they started to be replaced by the USA tanks. So they were gradually withdrawn in the late 40s through the 1950s, and the last examples went in 1962. And 2 of these have been preserved. One of them is number 96, which was originally called Normandy, which is preserved at the Bluebell Railway. That one is the more famous of the 2. The other one preserved is number 102, which is called Granville. That one is preserved at the Bressingham Steam Museum. Now, at the time of making this review, neither of the 2 are in service, and Normandy, I don't think Normandy is going to be overhauled in the anytime soon, because she is Granville hasn't actually steamed in preservation. Normandy has for many years. She was an active member on the Bluebell Railway, but since the Bluebell Railway now have a Class 09 shunter, there isn't that big of a demand to overhaul Normandy. So because Normandy is too weak to handle most of the trains on the line, so she was used primarily for shunting and permanent way trains. Because the Bluebell have a Class 09 now, which is obviously similar to a Class 08, there's no need for no need to overhaul Normandy. Maybe in the future they might overhaul her, but she's not as big of a priority on the overhaul queue. Granville is just on static display, but at least we do have 2 of these preserved, because these are really nice locos. Right, now that's all the history. So pretty standard history. There were shunters, but I mean they are very interesting little locos. What we're going to do is, since the loco's not in the box, we're going to put it to one side, and the loco itself is right here. Wow. Well, what can I say? Now we'll point out for a start, these 2 discs, they don't come in the pack. These are by Hornby, and I've added them myself, and also they don't come pre-fitted. I've added these myself just to add a bit more realism. These are the Southern Railway brood discs, but wow, honestly, I mean, for such a tiny little loco, the detail is really nice. Let's start at the front. So just shine it up. There you go. Absolutely, really cute. Does have sprung buffers, as you can see. The details which would normally you'd have to fit on a Hornby model, they've come pre-fitted. So the brake pipes at either end, and also the brake rigging. Just turn it beneath. There you go. The brake rigging, the brake rods, those all come pre-fitted. You get unusually 5 lamp irons instead of the usual 6. I don't know where the centre one is. Probably weren't fitted with probably weren't fitted with lamp irons in the centre, because I can't see anything where it would go. Or maybe it's just my model that's got it missing. But yeah, one thing which stuck out to me a little bit is there are slight glue marks on the lamp irons. It's not too big of an annoyance, but I mean, still, it is a little bit unprofessional. You don't have to overdo on glue, so yeah. But apart from that, the detail is excellent. You get a separately fitted handrail running along both sides of the boiler, also round the top of the smoke box. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that is looks like a stovepipe chimney to me. You get Southern number 100 in huge letters. That is typical of the Southern. You do get green lining, as it did say that it is lined Southern Railway black. And just look at the wheels and the valve gear. Very intricate. You get the steps. There's 4 of them. There's 2 on each side, and just at the front of the tanks, and 2 either side of the cab. You get look, I think these are these are like toolboxes. You get toolboxes on both sides. You get the water filler caps. You get a very nice dome. You seem to get, I think these are, yep, these are definitely hooks. Hooks. So obviously, if they needed to lift this locomotive, then that's what they would attach it to. You get the injector pipes on both sides, as you can see, just there and there as well. You get the safety valves and the whistle, both of which are separately fitted. Now the model is made of plastic. It's not die cast. In fact, there's no die cast on this model at all, which contributes to the fact that it is a little bit light, but not too light. It's okay. I haven't tested the haulage capacity yet, because all I've done is so far is run it in, but I'll get to that in after this review. I'll test the haulage capacity. I'll probably do some running videos on this as well. Now anyway, let's have a look at the cab. If we can see into the cab, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to bring my phone and just light it in, because it's a bit hard to see. There we go. Yep, there we go. As you can see, just focus. There you go. The cab detail for such a small loco and for such a small cab is really, really good. You can clearly see the reverser and the regulator picked up, but you can also just about see the gauges and all the. Yeah, let me just bring it. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can just about see all the gauges and the dials, also the levers and everything. So yeah, here's the back. So strangely, on the back you do get 6 lamp irons, but then on the front is one of them the middle one is missing. I mean, I definitely did not see it on this model, so I didn't break it off or anything. Definitely wasn't. I definitely remember it wasn't on the model when I got it, but oh well, it doesn't really bother me, to be honest. One feature it does have, which I don't know if it's stated in the manual. I haven't read it in too much detail. It does actually have a firebox glow. It's very, very subtle, but at certain angles you can actually see it, and it's really, really cool. It's not extremely powerful, but it is visible. I mean, if you do look closely, it is really, really visible, which is really, really nice. So here's the back. You do get sprung buffers on the back as well. You get NEM couplings front and back as well. Let's see the cab from this angle. Now this is this particular one does have a closed cab. Some of these had not an open cab, but Normandy, for example, on the Bluebell, has got a slightly more. It still has a roof, but the back of the cab is cut in more, so it is a little bit more open. I think the front is as well. But yeah, I've actually seen Normandy on the Bluebell, and yeah, it's very, very nice little loco. But let's see into the cab. There we go. Yeah, sorry, my phone's getting in the way. But yeah, you can just see the cab. It's all really, really nice. I mean, for such a tiny loco, the detail's really, really good. I got this from Hatton's. They're having it on offer at the moment because the last few are in stock. So if you do want one, go get it, because they're not. I don't think they're going to be making these anymore, which is a bit of a shame. Well, not for the time being, anyway, as far as I'm aware. But it's a bit of a shame, because it is a really, really nice model. So yeah, all in all, I'm really impressed with the detail. A few minor, very, very minor issues, but nothing to majorly detract from the overall appearance of the model. Yeah, I'm really, really impressed. However, detail may be one thing. Let's check out its performance. So here we have the Dapol class engine on the track. Now before we start running, I'm just going to show you the firebox glow. I'm going to try and show you. So just bring the camera up to the cab. Just turn the light on the controller. Let me just see if I can see it from my angle. Yep, you can just see it. Turn in. Yep, there it is. It's the firebox glow. Now, when I was DCCing it, I did see the. Yep, there you go. Well, when I was DCCing this, I did see where it comes from. It's just a tiny little LED that's fitted to the chassis, but it is really, really cool. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to apply some power and watch her go. Oh, come on. There we go. Sorry, the track there was a bit. Might need to clean that small bit, but yeah. Now I've put it up to halfway speed. If I just bring my gauge master controller, there you go. The light there. If you want to turn the firebox glow on, you have to press the light button. But yeah, so full speed is 28, so I've put it to 14, which is halfway, and just bring it round. Now, as you can see, she's not very fast, but that is not a problem at all because she is a shunter. So in that regard, she is running really, really well. And even if you turn it up to 28, she's not that fast either. Not as fast as other engines, but that's perfectly fine. I mean, shunters are not designed for speed. Not like a Hornby 040, which you apply a bit of power and it just shoots off like a rocket. Yeah, but no, this is really, really nice. So going to watch her go by a few times. So yeah, all in all, very, very impressive. Very smooth. And considering its tiny wheelbase, I mean it's really not that big. She's running really, really well. At least with this slow speed I can do shots like this. So just to conclude this video, I do highly recommend her, especially if you're a southern region enthusiast like I am. It's really, really recommended. As I say, they are running out of stock on Hattons specifically. Hattons do have this on offer for £79, and I think that's a really good bargain for this model, considering that the RRP was about 100 or so. So yeah, really, really nice. And also, as mentioned, if you have a DCC layout, I recommend you get the DCC fitted version, if you don't want to go through the trouble of fitting a decoder to her. So, but yeah, but otherwise, no, can't fault this model that much. Maybe a few little detail things which I pointed out, but honestly, I'm really impressed with it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and see you in the next review. Goodbye.